The Sly Cooper mini project is coming together splendidly. I've made some great progress, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been feeling a bit burned out. No! My solution is pretty simple and entirely logical. I'm taking a few weeks off. I made Legendary Productions' first mobile game in 1 month. Okay, technically speaking, the game was made in less than a month. About 63 hours in total, actually. But I can only work on my projects for about 3 hours a night on the weekdays. The struggle of being an adult with responsibilities. Don't grow up, kids. That's a little under 3 days. And as tempting as that YouTube title is, it's quite deceptive. And I don't want to be that kind of creator. Anywho, towards the end of February, I saw this video on YouTube. A few game developers came together to make this cool superhero game, and I thought to myself, that would make a pretty cool mobile game.
You serious?
So, at the beginning of March, I started the development of Super Pixel Hero. Shout out to BlackthornProd and everyone involved in that video. Alright, here's my plan. We take the core concept of a superhero saving a city from an alien invasion. But, to make sure I'm not just straight up copying their game, instead of defeating the invasion, your goal will be to keep the city standing for as long as possible. We'll give the superhero some abilities to help with that, as well as a timer and a city health bar so the player can see their progress. I also want to add a health pickup system disguised as a civilian rescue mechanic. It's a pretty solid plan if I do say so myself. First things first, the character. I decided to go with the voxel art style as it's pretty simple to use and will help with optimization. Plus, I need an excuse to buy this sick particle effect pack. I came up with this cube character who looks a bit familiar if you ask me.
I am Steve.
As well as the civilian version of his species. I wasn't sure of the color scheme I was going to go with, so I gave him some basic material that I could change later. After setting up some really basic animations, I threw him into Unity to start the character controller.
Wait a minute!
I wanted to randomly generate the city every time a match was played, so I could eliminate players finding a cheap trick to get super high scores. I quickly realized that city generation is hard. Because cities are so dense with so much detail, it gets really complicated really fast. So my solution was to use basic buildings and add some volumetric fog to avoid having to generate anything on the ground level. I also made sure to generate one police building in the city for the civilian rescue mechanic. And bada bing bada boom, we have some city generation. I've never made a flying controller before, so I did what anyone else would do. I found this video on YouTube that provided a solid foundation for flying controls. Our flying controls. Thank you, Vinny, very cool. And just like that, we have a moving character and a working camera. Up next is the enemies. My idea is to have an enemy spawn in and randomly patrol the space above the city. Then, after a random amount of time, they'll fly down to a random building and attack it. After the attack, they'll go back to their patrol state. I found this 3D model of a UFO on Google Poly, threw it into Blender and used the remesh modifier to convert it to the voxel style. And after slapping my keyboard for a while, the enemies are about 50% done. I then had to make sure they actually act like enemies for the game, so I wrote some code, made this sick shader, and added lots of pretty particles to bring the enemies to 100% done. Oh yeah, I also added the timer and the city health bar so the enemies could actually do some damage. Okay, great. Now I need to give the player the ability to actually defend the city. So, let's make some superpowers. I went with 2 completely original powers I came up with all on my own. They are definitely not heavily inspired by one of fiction's most popular superheroes. Heat vision and cold breath. The player will be tasked with a couple of jobs. Use the heat vision to destroy the UFOs to prevent them from doing damage to the city, and use the cold breath to put out the burning buildings to ensure the city doesn't take too much damage. With the abilities complete, I can add in the civilian rescue system.
Did it, Patrick! We saved the city!
This system will be a way for the player to recover health for the city and prolong the game, thereby reaching a higher score. I started by making the civilian be able to spawn on a random building in the city. Then I used trigger boxes to allow the player to collide with them and pick them up. Once they're picked up, you have to bring them to the nearby police station to successfully rescue the civilian and get some health back. Adding some particle effects and some instructional UI completes this system. And now you can really feel like a superhero when you play this game.
You could almost literally take your $10, go onto your downloadable service of choice, randomly point at the screen, download what you pointed at, and come up with a game twice as good.
I won't say I'm the best at making menus, but I think I did an okay job this time. Using some custom images, I built some basic main menu, settings, and game over screens. Then I added some good old post-processing, sound effects, and this sweet track for the background music. And after roughly 63 hours, LegendDairy's first mobile game is complete. If you're interested in playing the game yourself, it's available on the Google Play Store as we speak. Unfortunately, Apple makes it extremely difficult and expensive to launch apps on the App Store.
Move this man!
But never fear, I do plan on releasing it to the App Store as soon as I can. You can follow my social media platforms to get an update when it goes live. Speaking of, if anyone wants to support the channel further, a link to my Patreon is in the description below. I have all kinds of dev content there, if you want to check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the love and support. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.